The pain is something unbearable. My boil routine, from 21 days, I used to have one, which is 3 weeks. I got it down to 7 days. It's like the quicker it comes up, the quicker you could possibly get it to pop. And if something ain't broke, I ain't gonna fix it. And since what I tried the first time worked, I just stuck with it.
When I used to be on my vacation.
Welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. If you're returning, welcome back. As you guys seen by the title, we're gonna be doing a very touchy subject for some people, but I'm gonna honestly be giving y'all my boil routine. So if you don't know what a boil is and you click this video, hey, you're in for a surprise. But if you do, then I understand your pain. I already know where you're at, because when I was on the internet and I be the pain is something unbearable. First, I just want to go through the definition if anybody's new or if you don't know what's going on. If you have this big, painful type of pimple and you're like, what the hell is going on? I'm just going to break it down real quick, and then I'm going to get into how I get them to come to the surface. From 21 days, I used to have one, which is 3 weeks. From the start to the end, to the last time that I had one, I got it down to 7 days. So it came up day 1, by day 7 it was gone. I feel like that's a miraculous difference, because I've gotten them once like every other year. 1 year I got them two times in a year in the same spot, so it is a recurrent thing. I also was supposed to get surgery on it. I didn't do it. I'm scared of surgery. Hey, I just figured out this routine, and I also didn't have to get it lanced, or it did it on its own. So I feel like it's a good routine if you don't know what to do, or if you're tired of, you know, getting them and not being able to have relief quicker. I can't say that if you do this it's going to automatically work, but I definitely have also posted this on my TikTok. You can follow my TikTok right here. But a lot of people have come back and said thank you, because it did work and it did help it pop, literally in like a day or two. A boil, I'm going to read it from my notes so I say it the right way, and I'm also going to put it on the screen. A boil is a bacterial skin infection that forms in hair follicles and oil glands. It comes from sweat buildup and friction. And I just want to reiterate, because this is something I started getting angry about, because if you know me, like, I'm a routine girl, I'm just a girl, and I literally, you know, stay with my hygiene. You're not dirty if you get a boil. You're not dirty if you also have, I want to say it correctly, Hidradenitis suppurativa. It is literally when basically you can say just like a big pimple that becomes affected. Your hair follicle can literally flip over into your skin and clog your pore and create a bump. That is quite essentially what it is. It has nothing to do with you stink, you're dirty. It's none of that. Once I understood that and seen that it was bigger, it was not that. You don't have to beat yourself up. Honestly, I'm pretty sure they said there's no reason, rhyme, or cure or causes that they can say. They only say, oh, it's more likely in this, more likely in this. No reason, there's no cure, it just happens. But I hope that this video helps you have a shorter cycle with dealing with this. I do not have HS, but boils can also form into HS, or also something people with HS can deal with. So I wanted to include that also with that, because it all basically boils, you know, you don't have to have it to get a boil, and you can have it and get a boil. So first I want to say, in order to address the pain, I was told growing up that ibuprofen is for bodily pain and more Tylenol is for headaches. So I use ibuprofen, but you're gonna definitely need some type of medicine to help cope with this pain, okay? Because it is extremely painful. If you're like, oh, I shouldn't take medicine, it's not that serious. No, it is that serious. Sometimes it gets that serious. So I would say, if you've never tried ibuprofen, or I think it's aspirin or something, just check with your doctor before doing any of this, because I'm not a doctor, y'all. I'm just telling y'all what I do. But I use ibuprofen. I also use ibuprofen for period pain. I heard people use Tylenol, and I don't know how, okay? That's what I mean. I think ibuprofen, unless it's like that placebo effect and I'm just making it up. Yeah, I take ibuprofen the entire time, because I also work through the pain in the beginning, because in the beginning you would have just like kind of like a pimple, no head to it. So when there's no head but you feel that tugging feeling, or you feel like, oh damn, there's a boil coming, I usually will work through it those few days, because I feel like the more that you move around, the more that the boil forms quicker. And then low key, it's kind of like you're making it come to the surface quicker, but it's like the quicker it comes up, the quicker you could possibly get it to pop. So the first couple of days I'll work through it, take my ibuprofen. That third or fourth day, that's when it gets real big and real bad. That's when we start this process, okay, that I'm about to tell y'all. You can start, you know, once you start feeling it and it starts coming up to the surface. If y'all see me looking down, I wrote my notes so I can specifically tell y'all everything and don't miss out on anything, because I feel like it's really important that I get through every step. When it starts to get excruciating painful, this is when I will start to use witch hazel or alcohol to clean off the area. You can do this all the time, but these are really harsh products because they have alcohol. My idea with a boil is to kind of dry it out and make the skin weaker so that the head can come to the surface and pop. That's my brain. That's how my brain has figured it out. And this is what I've done. So this is an example of the witch hazel that has alcohol in it. They have alcohol free. but I feel like using the alcohol helps to get the skin to get a bit irritated and also weakened, so that it can possibly help the boil when it wants to come to the surface, so it can pop quicker. Or if you don't have that, this is strong. You can also get 70%, but baby, I just don't be caring. Okay, I'm sorry, I just don't be caring. I be wanting it off my body as quick as possible. So I'll put that on like a cotton pad like this and just clean the area every time I get out the shower, or just multiple times a day to make sure it's staying clean. Okay, so my holy grail with the actual boil is to use tea tree oil and Prid. There's a lot of other oils you can use. I'll name those in a second, but I use this pure tea tree oil that I got from Walmart. And some people may have to mix this with another oil, like a carrier oil, if it's too harsh for your skin and it burns, but it does have a tingling feeling. Like I said, with that boil, I feel like it's a beast. So I feel like it needs beastful products to attack it. I will put this tea tree oil on a cotton rod after I let the witch hazel dry. Let's say I'm getting out the shower. I'm getting out the shower. I will wipe the area with witch hazel, and then I will let that dry. I'll put tea tree oil, wipe the area. I'll take Prid. Prid is nasty. Prid smells nasty. Prid is sticky. Prid is a drawing self. What Prid does, to my knowledge, is pulls up the infection to the surface. Kind of like it will bring a splinter to the surface. We'll then put Prid over the area with the cotton round. I usually just leave the cotton round there because the Prid will get stuck to the cotton round and then it will get stuck to my skin. So I'll just leave it on there. Or you can take that off and put a gauze pad with some tape if you'd rather do that. But you want the Prid sitting on that boil, covering it, and then putting the cotton round over it, or the gauze pad. It kind of creates like a heating pack, and then it's like a DIY heating pack. You see what I'm saying? It keeps that area hot because you're covering it, so it'll keep it hot and help it to come to the surface. Do not just put the Prid on your body on the boil and then leave it uncovered, because it's just going to rub away and then it's not going to do what it has to do. And the reason why we use tea tree oil is because it's antibacterial and it also has antiseptic properties. If you need to mix it with a carrier oil, you can look that up with other oils you can mix it with, or I'll put some on the screen, but I just use a straight tea tree oil. I just thug it out, okay? She's just a girl, but she's just a thug for that moment, okay? Make sure the area is completely dry before you're putting the tea tree oil or anything. Like, say if you get out the shower, make sure you're patting that dry. You're also changing out every time you get in the shower a washcloth and towel, so that it's not going to spread to other areas. So if I'm laying down, I will put a heating pad over the area that has the boil for consistent heat, because it's really hard to walk with it. And me specifically, I don't think I said it, I usually get them at the top of my behind. Real great, right? Real great. So sitting down, I can't sit. I barely can sit. It's really painful. So I usually lay down when I have mine. I've gotten one on my leg before, but it's popped quick. But the one on my behind, it don't be popping quick. And I know if you have one on the girl too, it probably gives you the same idea of like it's hard to sit down. So when I'm laying down, I will put like a blanket or something on my clothes in between. The clothes I'm wearing is in between. I'll put the heating pad over the boil, and that's, hey, automatic heating pad. I don't know how some feel about that. That's what I'm gonna do. Or you can constantly get up, put a washcloth in witch hazel and or Epsom salt, dip it in the water of that, and then put it in the microwave, heat it up, put it on your body. If someone is there to help you and they could do it, you know, that's another option. You can put the Epsom salt in some water in a bowl, maybe some witch hazel in there, dip it in there, the washcloth, wring it out first, then put it in the microwave for like 30 seconds. Don't burn your skin. You don't want to literally burn your skin with the one, but you do want to have a hot area. Some other oils that I looked up and researched that people said work is neem oil, castor oil, a turmeric ginger mix, which turmeric stains, so you gotta be careful with that. Or you can mix the turmeric with coconut oil or olive oil. These are all different things you can try if one certain thing doesn't work for you. But you have to try it for a cycle of a boil before you say it doesn't work. So don't try to do one different thing every day. Honestly, please stick with this tea tree oil, Prid, witch hazel routine, because this is what I've done 2 times in a row, and people on my TikTok have also said that it worked. So you can start with that. And then turmeric is anti-inflammatory, and then they also said oil of oregano, and I seen that in my research process. But if something ain't broke, I ain't gonna fix it. And since what I tried the first time worked, I just stuck with it. But these are other oils or options that you can look at, and with the turmeric, they make it into a paste. So that's why I say you can mix the turmeric with ginger, you can mix the turmeric with coconut oil or olive oil. During this time, you can be doing this every, you're doing this every time you get out the shower. You're putting the tea tree oil, you're putting the Prid, you're doing the heating pad multiple times a day, giving yourself a break. This should be like day 3 to day 5. And then you should see how that boil gets huge. It's basically like a tennis ball. It can get as big as a tennis ball. You will be surprised how big this shit gets. It gets scary. Like, the last time I had to do this by myself, unfortunately, my mom had to be there for the first time when I was a kid, because I started getting these as a kid. My ex-boyfriend was there for the last one. That was so embarrassing. And then this last time I did this all by myself, and I was on the verge of passing out. So baby, it is a lot. Okay, it could get huge. You could feel feverish. If you feel feverish, you need to go to the doctor because the infection can be spreading, and you need to have a window open when you get to the popping process because it gets hot. It's a lot. So during this process, if you see a hair, squeeze it and it may just burst, okay? Because the whole point, like I said in the beginning, is when a hair follicle gets blocked and then the oil glands are basically enlarged, infected. So the one that I had on my leg as a kid, I seen a hair and said, oh, look at that little hair sticking out the bump. I pulled that and the whole thing like burst out. So that's what I'm saying. Sometimes if you see the hair, pull the hair, that may just ease everything. And you know what's crazy? A sty, they're all in the same family group. A sty is similar because I had a sty in my eye and I see one of my eyelashes flipped over. I pulled it out and it literally went down within 30 minutes. So that's what I mean. Sometimes it's literally that hair. It's not because you're dirty. It's not because you're not clean. If anything, people who have HS or people who deal with boils and people who just are into their hygiene, you're probably cleaner than everybody else in the world. Okay? And there's people who are dirty who probably don't get this. It's not about that part. Sometimes it'll open on its own. Most of the times it will. Especially if you do what I said, because you're gonna weaken up the skin. One time when I sat down, sorry for my mother's house, I sat down and you just smelled it. This is so TMI, but I cannot hold this information when I know how painful it is. I sat down. That friction from me sitting down, boom, it all popped. Okay, so sometimes maybe if you have a quick moment, it'll pop. Okay, because you try not to move when you have it because it's painful, but sometimes it's like pulling out a tooth like real quick. Like sometimes yeah, it may do that. Okay, like I said, the smell is horrendous. So we're at the popping stage and it's bursted. Okay, it's bursted. I would say to go to your bathroom, have a towel down because it's gonna get messy, have the window open because it's gonna stink, and also so you don't pass out. And just have a towel, have paper towels ready because you need to squeeze as much out of it as possible. This is why I said when I was here by myself and I did by myself, I was on the verge of passing out. Imagine being like this, squeezing. I actually had my like leg on the toilet and everything. It was pretty bad. You need to squeeze out as much as possible because if you just leave it, it can possibly just close back up and start back over. So you want to try to squeeze as much as possible. It is going to be painful. You're going to feel lightheaded. Take a break, try to keep doing it, and it'll get to a point where it will stop. It's not over yet, but at that moment it'll stop. Get a trash bag too. I meant to say that. I usually have everything on deck. A little like bathroom trash bag to put all your paper towels and throw that shit out immediately. Okay, don't let that linger in the house. It's like a baby's stinky diaper. Like, get that out of here. Now, don't close the trash can. No, out. Get it out. And this is why I say to be careful because this is infection coming out. This is like actually infected liquids, fluids from your body. This is not just water. Okay, throw that outside. Get that out of there. Wash your hands. Get in the shower. I don't know if I mentioned during this whole process we're doing baths. Okay, we're doing baths. The way I got mine to pop so quickly is I called out of work 2 days straight. Every hour I was getting in a hot bath. I was adding Epsom salt to the bath and I was sitting in there for like 15-20 minutes, getting out, doing a heating pad, putting tea tree oil, putting the Prid, and doing that routine every 1 to 2 hours. You need hot baths to bring the infection up to the surface, just like the heating pad will also help to bring that up through heat. With that being said, this is the part where it popped. The last time that I had one, when I woke up from my sleep, I smelled it. And I knew by the time I was twisting and turning in my sleep, it had popped. So when I got up, it was popped. It could happen at any moment. It could get a little nerve-wracking, especially if you're outside. I would say to keep gauze on you and then keep gauze in your hands, or keep gauze over that boil if you notice that the urge of popping and you're outside. And also keep gauze in your bag, please, and like paper towels. That's if you're outside. I called off of work. So I was home, and when it popped, I knew it was gonna pop because it was so painful. I just knew it needed a little bit extra time. So that's the whole routine for when you're cleaning up it during the popping process, cleaning it out, using the paper towels, having a towel on the floor. From now on, do not get in the damn tub, okay? Don't get in the tub with an open wound, infection, boil. You will literally be sitting in infection. The tubs are done. Once it popped, you did the worst part. You got it to pop. So now you're just at the part where it's popped. It pops. It's gonna be extremely painful. So I would say get your medicine immediately. Honestly, add an extra dosage to do what you gotta do. It's really painful when it pops. So after it pops, get in the shower. You want to. What I personally did was let the water run over my body, let all of that get off, clean my entire body, and during this process of having boils or HS, a lot of people use Hibiclens, a lot of people use Dial, antibacterial soap. Wash my whole body. Then the last thing I would do before I get out I would put the Dial or the Hibiclens on a washcloth and wring it over the area that has a boil. I wouldn't really touch it with the washcloth, but I would still change it out every single day. But I let that Dial soap run over it like the running water, and then squeeze the Dial over the open wound to help to clean it out. And then when I got out, I would tap it with a paper towel to dry it and dry off my entire body, switch out my towel for next time. So that's the process I would recommend for after it's opened. Do not get in the tub, like I said, and do not touch that prid. Let me look. Do not touch that prid. Do not touch that tea tree oil. Do not touch that alcohol, and do not touch that witch hazel. If you put that on an open wound, do not say Zelly's video told you to do that, because I'm telling you right now, it will literally burn so bad you probably will scream. We're done. Once it opens, all this stuff that I said before, we're done. That was just to get it to open. With the infection in the beginning, it's not done coming out. Over the next 7 days at least, you're going to realize that it's still leaking out. So after you dry, you get out the shower, you dried it with the paper towel. You want to put your gauze in. You could also use tape if you don't want it to move around. And change that like 1 to 3 times a day. Also, you can shower 1 to 3 times a day, in the morning and in the night and in the middle of the day if you want. But at least in the morning and in the night with the shower. And then with changing it multiple times a day, at least once a day, okay, halfway in the day between the showers type of thing. But it is going to keep leaking, so you want to make sure you're protected. You can also put a gauze on the outside of your underwear. I keep saying it like people get it in their behind. Basically having a gauze pad on the clothing item that you're wearing, and then a gauze pad on the actual boil that's open in case it leaks through that first gauze pad, is what I'm trying to say. Leave it alone after that. It's going to keep leaking. If you feel feverish, or you feel like it's not getting better, it's not getting worse, or if you just want to be precautionary, I would just still book an appointment with the doctor. I think you can do urgent care for this. They could look at it, test it, make sure it's not infected. If you need antibiotics, they can give it to you, and if not, they'll just tell you it's going to heal over time. So that is literally my process. I don't think I left out a thing. I really hope I didn't. If not, y'all can ask me questions in the comments, because I know this is a touchy subject, a sensitive topic, and kind of embarrassing to some. At this point, I already put my whole life online. This is something where it is so painful, I could just not sit here and gatekeep this. There's no way. My little TikTok video already did numbers, but I couldn't even go into detail. So I hope this is so much more helpful and at least help somebody to get out of pain quicker. Like I said, my boils life cycle used to be 21 days. This got it down to 7. And I got 2 weeks of my life back. That's what I'm here for. Some extra things, not really, some extra things I put down is that sometimes surgery is necessary. Like I said, I was supposed to get it. When you get to the time period where it popped, it may not look like it's going down. Honestly, it might look like it's getting bigger. In my experience, it gets worse before it gets better. So it always did go down to the point where that area that used to be a golf ball on my skin is now flat. All I feel is the old scars that I used to get, because like I said, I've been getting those same one in the same place. That's why I say some doctors do try to do surgery to remove that area. I said, honey, we're just not going to do that. I don't want to do that. But it's going down every single time. It just may take a while. That's why I said you might want to go to the doctor just to check on it. It gets bigger sometimes and it goes down. That's why I said the frequent still hot showers, the frequent keeping the gauze in there, it should help it. Like I said, this is infection. Just to reiterate, always wash your hands after touching tea tree oil, the prid, the gauze pad, everything. Wash your hands, please. And if you get a cluster of them, I think that is where we get into more of HS, or that it's infecting and it's spreading. So I would definitely say to get in with your primary doctor, not just urgent care or the emergency room, to get in with the actual doctor. And I think the dermatologist treats boils more than the regular doctor, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, because my dermatologist said if I get one again to come back. So you may need a dermatologist to look at it instead of your primary, or a referral from your primary. I pray that this video helps somebody, because I promise you the whole point of me making it is so that someone is in less pain after this. So if it's helpful, if you have any questions, let me know down below. And if you are new and you like videos like this, let me know what else you want to see. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see y'all in the next video.
Yeah.